Valve clearances today. 0.05 millimeter clearance for both exhaust and intake. You just saw the whitest man in Australia's hand then, just in case you didn't know. Thought it may have been staring at the sun. It seems okay. Close I've got is 0.051. It's brighter than the whitest man in Australia's hand. Oh. I'll grab a 10mm spanner and just do a slight adjustment, see if I can get a bit closer. Alright, adjusted that. By the way, it was a 9mm spanner, not a 10mm, what I said. So I'm doing the intake as well, hence the intake right there next to the valve. Yeah, so I adjusted it up, probably a quarter of a turn in. Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, head, because I'm no mechanic. But it is when you start feeling resistance on the feeler gauge, is it not? I'm getting resistance there, not a heap, but some. Oh, go to the exhaust. This one needed a little bit of adjustment as well. The exhaust, hence the exhaust there, next to the valve. Yeah, probably the same, a quarter turn in. I actually thought I was actually going to do them the other way around and loosen them off, but yeah, quarter turn in. Alright, rockers are done. Exhaust and intake. And yes, I made sure they weren't on a intake or exhaust stroke at the time. Making sure they weren't rocking at the time, they were idle. If that's the correct terminology. Alright, I'm gonna put the air cleaner back on. Fire it up after I put these caps back on. Just have a listen to it, see how it sounds, and then run the timing light over it. Alright, so before doing the ignition time, we'll do the points gap. Just look here, point gap between 0.3 and 0.4 millimeters. So here I've got 0.33 mils, so it's sort of in between. So we use this one. Taking the points cover off. So all you need to do is loosen that lock screw there, the lock screw there. That'll loosen it up. And the gap we look for is in between there. So there, I can do that quite easily. There's a little bit of room between there. So after unlocking those, should clamp down on there, and I'll tighten it up. Alright, so I got the screwdriver in the adjustment point. I just had the filler gauge in there and just moved it so it was just grabbing onto it. So yeah, I found it hard to film and do this at the same time. But I think I've got it there, so I'll do up those lock screws and then we'll check again. All good. So instead of using the adjuster there, pretty much open the lock nuts again, and then it just sprang itself shut on the feeler gauge, and then I'll tighten them up. So that's grabbing there. If I go the next size up, it won't go in there, so that's what we want. So it looks good. Just to note, you'll see that this section here is on the high lobe, so that's when the actual points are open, at their openmost point. So yeah, so I didn't do it when they were closed or whatever, so you need to make sure that this is sitting on the highest point to be able to adjust it. Cool. Alright, now we'll go on with ignition timing. So the book pretty much says that when we see the F in the little inspection window, every time the timing light flashes, if that's lined up, it's the correct timing. So if it does it before it, it's advanced. If it does it after it, the timing's retarded. So getting it spot on, yeah, will make the bike run better, obviously. Yeah, and the idle speed has to be around 1300. So it's around there anyway. I don't have a tacho, like a portable tacho I can hook up to it. So it's pretty much guesstimate it. And it should be right. So I'll go around and do that. When I talk about inspection window, that's the little window there. So I just pulled out that plug just there, so you can look in there. So as this thing flies around inside, it's the flywheel. So I'll see 2 marks, and then we'll see the F there. So we want to see the light flash as that F lines up with that mark that's at the top there, and that'll tell us it's got the correct timing. To do that, we use a timing light in my special box here. So this hooks around spark plug lead, or the coil lead. Positive, negative terminals on the battery. If this was a 12 volt bike, it'd probably be able to handle it. Because it's 6 volt, I don't think it's going to work with that timing light, so I've just got another battery here we can hook up to get the power. So we'll have the motor running as well. I'll warm it up first so this works properly. Hook the timing light up, and then poke the timing light down there and see if it lines up. And depending on whether if it fires before or after it, you adjust it by undoing these 2 screws here, and then where am I? There we go. Yeah, then just by moving this plate here backwards and forwards. I think I can't see what the adjuster is. Oh, there we go. So similar to the adjuster on the points, you can move it backwards and forwards in there. And you can see the room it's got as it goes between there to get the timing spot on. So all at once. And this hole will probably shoot oil all over me, so I don't know how this is going to go filming it. We'll give it a go. Alright, I've got that plug in just while it warms up so it can spray oil everywhere. I forgot I had this, so automotive multimeter, so it can pick up RPMs. It's got a tacho on it. So I just hook the cable to it, there. And it gives us a decent readout. It was until it's stuck on that. Wait on. Alright, we're going right now. Yeah, so I'll just get the phone and adjust the screw on the dial there. Try to get this as close to 1300 as I can. I'm not going to be too fussy with that. I can't do it because I don't have third hand with the camera, so you can see it. Alright, got it as close as I could. Not too bad. Got a cycle just under, just over 1300, so that'll do. So I'll piss this thing off and look up the timeline. Alright, time all hooked up. So I'll take the cover off there and see how we go. So I think it's just slightly retarded. To the left of it, the T, that's top dead centre. It's the F that we want, it's off to the left. It's too far off to the left for the arrow, so yeah, we'll just give it a bit of an adjust. ridiculous invention. Alright, all buttoned up. Sounding very nice, 1300 RPM. And there we go. Alright, that is pretty much the front half of the bike all done now. So just to recap, so I've put new brake shoes in, new fork seals, cleaned the forks up, welded the front mudguard up, gave it a bit of a squirt of paint. Same with those fork ears as well, or handlebar mounts, whatever you want to call them. Cleaned them up, got rid of all the black paint, new fork boots. We're still waiting on our headlight to come from China Land. Yeah, no update when that's going to get here, but you know, no hurry. That one actually works, so it's no big deal anyway. It's not like the bike's got to get registered. It's already rec-regged. Yep, so all the framework's all been cleaned up as well. The black paint's been cleaned up under there as well. Valve clearance is done. Carby cleaned out. Timing done. Points gap done. So that's pretty much the lot of all that. So. One thing I haven't done with the motor yet is dump the oil and put a fresh batch of oil in, but I think old mate told me that he put fresh oil in, or maybe that was Brittany, I can't remember. Anyway, I'll put some fresh oil in it anyway, I think. So yeah, front half done. So what's next? The back half of the bike. So the next video will be me removing the rest of the blank paint from the rear of the frame, the rear mudguard, the tank, and we'll be replacing the fuel lines with new fuel lines and deleting those. No, you can't see them now. Those stupid inline filters that run it as well. I'm doing that. So I reckon that'll probably take up the whole next video, because by the time I get this off, the tank off, pull the lines off, and that bloody paint, and it's going to leave a mess everywhere, and I've got to find a piece of cardboard to sit this bike on, or I'll just put a towel down. Either way, it's all good. Meanwhile, it's just resting there, waiting. So yes, after I do and finish off this, I will get to the other bike. But when this is all finished, I will take it for a ride, because it's rec-reg. We'll take it for a cruise, and I'll see if I can do it on board video. I don't know how to do that yet, because I don't have a mount or anything, and I don't want to spend money on a camera or a mount. Some cable ties might be in order. Speaking of cable ties, fork boots, I've secured just with cable ties, because that's pretty much what the proper original brackets do anyway. Is just hold these things up and hold the boots in place as well. I don't know, they're probably going to sting me $25 for a pair of them, of the proper, they're just hose clamps pretty much. Cable ties do the same job, and I've just hidden the dirty bit of the cable tie there. Alright, yep, cool. Alright, that's this video done. Ta-da.